Alright, I'm going to do a quick swing evaluation here with Bubba Watson. Just point out some techniques and traits in his swing that he uses. And we all know this guy hits the ball a long way, and he's a very creative player, and he's got a really cool golf swing. So let's start at setup. You can see this lead foot, it's laid off a little. That's going to help him get into that side as he tries to coil and get through the ball. His driver here, you can see he starts with a little bit of a hover position. It's going to help him not pick up the club too soon and get some good width going back. When you notice his grip, his thumb and index finger lines are really running towards this back shoulder. A stronger grip can really help you get better club head speed on the ball. I like how his elbows are pointing in. That's also going to let him keep good connection and good accuracy and control with his body and arms. Now here, you can tell he's set up in a good launch position, head behind the ball, shoulders at a good angle. That way he can get a proper launch coming back through. And we'll put a line on his head just to show kind of what he does when he's going back. Now first thing we notice is how much width he has. He's keeping the club head pretty low to the ground. And that club and his arm are all in one line. That's showing you he's not really trying to use his hands at all at this moment. That's going to establish good width all the way through the backswing if he can keep going like that. And again here you can tell he's really not hinging his wrist much. That he's just trying to get a lot of width on the club as he's making this backswing. Right here you can see where he's kind of trying to squat down a little bit. The head's dropping, and that's kind of building some power into the ground. Now as we stop him at the top, a couple things we notice. His lead foot's coming off the ground. That's a kind of an old school technique, but I mean there's been a lot of great players played like this, from Nicklaus to Jones to Snead to the kid that just won the British Open, Francisco Molinari. His foot was coming off the ground a little, but you don't see that much today. But I think it's pretty cool to see people still use some old school stuff. This leg action is very active and very dynamic, but that's going to allow him to really bow it back out when you see him coming back down. Let's get him to the apex. Alright, so this would be parallel. Obviously he's getting way past that, so that's giving this club head a lot of time to speed up before we get back to the ball. Now as we start the transition, first thing you're going to notice is he's going to start planting this foot so he can have some support to coil against, or I guess I should say uncoil against. So there goes the foot down. Next thing we notice is the knees start separating a little. Sam Snead used to say this is kind of like riding a horse, and if you can get into that position, this really gives you a lot of power from the ground at this moment. Now as we continue down through his swing, he's got an extreme amount of lag. Again, that's going to help him create a lot of speed as he's coming through. His lead leg is kind of in a bowed position at this moment, as you can tell that the weight's starting to shift over there. But as you're getting closer to impact, you're going to start seeing this leg straighten up. And I'll show you right there. As his lead hip is kind of uncoiling around, this leg is building a good column of support to hit against. And at this moment, right before impact, you can tell head's still behind the ball, shoulders in a really good launch angle, and his head's a lot lower than where he began from. I also like how this trail leg is leaning into the ball, making sure that the weight and stuff is going that way. Now as we keep going through, you're going to see his lead foot kind of spin out and get off the ground. That's just from the force of his swing that's kind of propelling him up like that. Now one thing I really like about his release is he's very connected to the club. If you take a center line from his chest, it's pretty much in direct line with his shaft, so his hands and club really aren't moving faster than his body. All of this is very well connected. He's getting really good full extension from his arm, so nothing's jamming up and nothing's getting interrupted. You can tell right here, there's no space between his arm and his armpit, his armpit and his body, so that arm is really connected to his body at this moment. We'll go ahead and swing him through. Bubba's got a really cool golf swing, and he's a self-taught player, and he does things his way, and that's why he's so creative of a golfer. Now we'll just flip him around right-handed because it's we never get to see him hit a ball right-handed, so this is going to be pretty fun. So I'll just go ahead and play the swing through, see what it looks like from this point of view. Alright everyone, that's Bubba Watson. Just wanted to point out some things that he's doing, and yeah, y'all have a good day now. Thank you.